we have another manga to talk about today, and this one is called The Record of a Fallen Vampire, and before we start, I'm only doing half of it, so if you want to know the ending, sorry, and spoilers ahead. I realize I have not been saying that too often, so spoilers ahead, and let's begin our new series. So today we are talking about Record of a Fallen Vampire before we get into the characters. This book is about a guy named Akabara. He's right there. He is the fallen vampire king with the most complicated love life ever. And I'm saying that because 1,000 years. Oh, if you remember from my top 10 craziest things characters have done in the name of love, he was number one. For, well, we'll talk about it in a minute, but he is on a quest to find his queen, who has been sealed away because she nearly destroyed the world after she found out that he was going to die. That makes sense now, doesn't it? You don't question fictional logic. And in this universe, there are half vampires and partial vampires, which I found interesting. Like, you know, they're enough to be immortal, but not. And they also talk about how they don't drink blood, they're still pretty fast. You know, it's a little iffy with them, like they don't really like people who have vampire blood because he was so powerful when he was ruling the kingdom of Day and Night, which was his vampire kingdom. Now, there's not too much known about how things were back then, but we're talking now. And now, there is this black swan out to get him, and at first it seems like a love story, but it's not. It's like an action story too, because there's a turn that happens in the fourth one that it just takes a turn, but we're talking about the first four, so I'll tell you later. But first, Akabara. So Akabara here is our main character. Mostly. There's a couple other characters in here. It's always so sad, and I actually need to look up some of these other characters. 1 second. Bridget, how could I not remember that? So, we're talking about Akabara today, and he is the fallen vampire king, and he's one of two mainish characters. The other one is this girl named Bridget, and I'm just saying her because, again, these are, I don't know why it's so hard to remember their names, but, like, he's so sad. It's sad because I even read at the end of it where the author's notes were in there and the illustrator's notes were actually in there too, because it is a manga. Most of it is told through story, and he actually makes a comment about how he wishes that one day he can draw Akabara smiling. And it kind of was like, wait, he actually never did smile. I've gotten to the fourth one and I have not seen him smile yet. And like, I'm looking at it like going like, you sad poor person, you need a hug. He does need a hug. Really, really, really needs a hug. Because, like I said, in my top 5 most insane things characters have done in the name of love, his backstory that is revealed slowly, I love that it's so complicated. It's not the cliche, he's a king, he lost his wife, he's trying to go find her type thing. But it's like, he loves someone else, and then it's so twisted and complicated, and the reasons that he's given, everything that comes up, I love how it's done. Okay? How it slowly comes up and it makes you want to read more because they know exactly what to do for cliffhangers. It's like they took their notes right from Rick Riordan, because you read the end of this one and you're sitting there going, okay, where's the second one now? I have to know. Now I need to know. And the same thing happened with the second one, the same thing happened with the third one, the fourth one. Okay, I'll be honest, let me tell you right now, fourth one, I kind of stopped there because now they brought in aliens. Ugh. You see why I stopped there. Please tell me you see why I stopped. Because, as cool as it sounds, aliens versus vampires, yeah. I'm not too sure about that one, or how it's gonna go, but I'll keep reading, and I'll tell you, I'll see. I'm kind of reading these online, too, so partly online, partly in the books if I can find them. They're actually really hard to find because it's not that popular of a series, but Akabara in this is completely calm like the entire time. It opens with a fight scene. It opens with him trying to fight, like, figure out the ceiling, destroy it, okay? And he's fighting the Black Swan. The Black Swan was summoned to kill him and his wife. That is, like, her sole purpose. She'll stay in a host for years, and if that host doesn't kill him, then she kills the host and moves to the next person. Like, he fights this girl and he tells her, I don't want to fight you, and he's like, she's just going, I have to fight you, I don't want to die. It's either I fight you and die, or I don't fight you and die. Don't have very good options. Or option C is fight you and kill you, but that hasn't happened yet. And he even, like, apologizes for killing her. He apologizes for killing her, and it's like, I am sorry that this had to happen, that it's that way. And she's like, hey, it's no big deal. Go get your wife. Like, that kind of thing. Go see if that's the real seal, because as I said before, the humans and the vampires, the oh so bright humans and vampires, and so many seals they made, so many fake ones they made, to the point that they don't even know which one's the real one. So, he can't just go ask somebody and be like, hey, which one's the real seal? Nope, it's, your guess is as good as mine, so, we'll see. So now he's just going around, and he's been doing this for 1,000 years, which honestly, it's like, how many seals did he make? Then again, he's been dealing with Black Swan, and apparently in this universe, vampires can regenerate limbs, because he gets his arm cut off, like, right away, and it's just like, I need to find a place to grow it back, because the sunlight's still, like, what bothers them. And that's when he runs into, I need to find her name, Lilitia, I think is her name. So her name is, so he eventually runs in, so after his fight where his arm got cut off, a little girl named Lilitia, who is not so little and is like, I think like nearly 100 years old or something like that, it helps him out, and it's, I find it hilarious, honestly, because the way that she is like, yeah, I don't really like being a vampire, and he's like, hey, it's not that bad. And she's like, yeah, but everything's messed up now because the Vampire King screwed everything up. And he's like, yes, but, you know, that king, he was very upset, and he knows that he's really screwed up. See, that's the thing that annoys me so much about this book. It annoys me to the point that I love it. It's a love-hate relationship going on here, because I hate it. The reason I hate this book is that I don't know who is the good guy and who is the bad guy. You have Bridget, who has very good reasons for wanting to go after and kill Akabara, and then you have Akabara, who also has very good reasons for fighting and staying alive and trying to find his wife, and you have Lydia, who, like, wants to just help him and follow him, who is pretty much in the same position you are, and then there's the Black Swan, who you also understand these girls are trying to kill him because they don't want to die, and the Black Swan is like the big evil, and you just don't know who the good guys and who the bad guys are, because they just want to make it so confusing, now don't they? But again, he is just so calm, and he is such an amazing fighter. Like, it's really insane and scary how he gracefully fights, and reading slash, like, just looking at these fight scenes, you see, it is beautifully drawn, so bravo to the artists of this. It is beautifully drawn, and the way that he fights just so calmly, like, even if he does die, he doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to either find my wife and kill her, or I'm going to die trying. Which, I know this is a pretty morbid and dark book, but it's, to me, it is actually beautiful, and this is like, I marked this page, if you can see it, because it is my favorite page, so I'll push it a little closer for you all to see it. But on this page, he destroys the seal and says, I have to find another seal. Have to break it with those blood-stained hands, and then do it again and again, and on and on. As long as there is a moon, as long as there is a night, until I am killed. That page, just, it's hard to describe, honestly, this book, this character, because he's so deep but so simple. He has one goal, and that is to find his wife, as I have said multiple times. Find his wife and kill her to get revenge. But how he is so dedicated to it, so in love with his dead girlfriend, he gave up everything for it, and he knows he messed up. He really does. He wishes there was a way to fix it, but he's like, this is it now. This is what's going on now, and I'm going to finish it. And Lilithia is helping him just be like, stop feeling sorry for yourself, get out there and find that seal. but that page right there just sums up, I feel, his whole character on so many deeper levels. And I'm gonna read it again because, like, oh my, this page just sums up his whole character. If you look at it deeper, I have to go find another seal. He has to. He feels like he has to. Have to break it with these bloodstained hands. He knows he just knows he messed up, and that's one thing I love about him. He isn't like, oh, I have a reason, you know, I had to do it. He's like, I know I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have gone there, but you know, it happened. I did it. And I have blood on my hands. I know it. I don't blame the Black Swan for coming after me. I'm not gonna get mad. I will kill her if she comes after me because I have to keep going. And he says, and then do it again and again, on, and that part just is starting to get ya. As long as there's a moon, as long as there's a night, until I am killed. That just shows you his dedication. Like, you see, I'm like slowing down and I'm getting quiet about this because that is his character. And I love that about this character, Akabara. He's so simple. I keep repeating the same things about him for the first 4 books. He's so calm, he just keeps to himself. He's very meticulous, very planning. He's extremely smart. Well, he was a king, so, you know, he had to be like that. And just his passion is amazing and deep, and that's something that you don't really see in a lot of characters, where they have that kind of passion, where they just look at it and go, you know what, I messed up in the past. I know I messed up in the past. I messed up big time. But I'm going to finish what I started. I'm not, he's like, he sometimes brings it up, like, I know I never should have done that, I probably should have done this, I probably should have done that, but, you know, he just talks like that. He never actually, you know, just feels sorry for himself. He never stops, unless he has to, and I'm talking like when his arm got cut off. That's the thing that I love about Akabara. That one page just sums it all up. How deep it is, how deep his character is, how deep his love is for this girl, and how calm he is, and you see it in his interactions with every other character. What, actually, I think a great guy he is. You know, he never actually wanted, like, all that responsibility and power. He just became so powerful that he became the Vampire King. He was a general at first, and then he became the Vampire King all of a sudden. And, like, and then he became the Vampire King, and he knew it was going to happen. And he was still just so calm about it. And even just looking at the pages, how again, the drawings, you have to look at the drawings. Just looking at the drawings, how his eyes, the eyes are always so hard. I know, I've taken art classes. I can't draw, but I've taken art classes. The eyes are always so hard to get just right, to make them look happy, sad, get them in the mood. But this guy, the guy who draws Akabara, has got it. His face is all you need to see, and even on the main cover, you see it. It is truly, truly amazing. I think he's a great guy, and you'll see as I keep talking about it, because he's the main character. It revolves around him. He knows what he's thinking. He's thinking meticulously, strategy, what can I do, is it worth it? Just trying to think of things, but he's also a caring person, and he's a nice person, and he knows right from wrong, I believe. But he still acts on impulse. So, I'm going to end that there because I know I'm rambling about the same thing, and I can't really put into words right now how it is, but you will see as I keep going. See, like I said before, Akabara is an amazing character who is a nice guy that knows he messed up because he knows right from wrong. And that is the great thing about him. He seems like he knows that he's the bad guy to some, but to us, he's also the protagonist. He's the antagonist and the protagonist, and that is the awesome thing about this book, and about what makes him like that. There's not many characters that don't have that kind of a feeling, or that kind of like a vibe to them, where they just are more or less depressed. He is really pretty much depressed, but he keeps going with it, and I don't know what'll happen when and if he actually does kill his wife for killing his girlfriend and unborn child. Yeah, did I mention he had an unborn child? I don't think I did, but he had an unborn child that was also killed by his wife. But yeah, it's oh so complicated. He has a messed up life. Cupid really doesn't like him, and he's really depressed in this book. And even though he's depressed, he keeps going, and he still shows all the traits that he showed, even during the flashbacks. It actually doesn't seem like he changed that much. He was a little happier in the flashbacks, but it doesn't seem like he changed all that much. I would love to see a flashback to when he was with his girlfriend, though. I do hope that's coming, but there's only 8 so far, so I am halfway through with the aliens that came. You know, he was contemplating helping because they need him and the queen, and this guy who, like, you know, is in charge of everything and can make anything happen, he is destroying the seals to find the queen, and he is thinking about, you know, helping, and like, what should I do? Should I just kill her? But, you know, they need us, and do this, and that is awesome. His relationships with Lieta, with Lieta is great, because she will, like, give him mouth all the time, and he doesn't really care, because he knows that she's right to an extent, and she really looks up to him, even though it's like, you're the Vampire King who messed everything up. Like, you know, I'm still gonna look up to you, because she understands him, and he, like, kind of has this, like, relationship almost with her, where it seems that it's like a father-daughter type thing, because he does care for her and wants to protect her. And just that moon idea of him saying, vampires came from the moon. You know, when this is all over, I'll take you to the moon. That was so sweet. I love it so much, and this series is amazing. So next time we'll be talking about Bridget, who has a complicated relationship with Akabara as well. Oh, that one's complicated too, but you will see, because that one's more for her character than it is for his. But you will see how complicated that one is, and just actually how caring of a person he is. And I'm going to keep coming back to this of how Akabara, like, is my favorite character in this. And I do love that this book can make you feel like you don't know who the protagonist and who the antagonist is. So, thank you for watching. Next time we'll be talking about Bridget, and be on the lookout for the next world review. That will be for the Hunger Games. And remember to keep watching for more of these to find out more about each and every one of these characters, which is actually not that many. So thanks for watching. Bye! And hold on a second, I do have a small announcement. After looking at all these books, I find that I actually talk about the authors a lot. So instead of trying to get the authors in there, and the books in there, and everything in there at once, I found a solution. I'm going to be starting a new series where I just talk about the authors. So I'm going to also go back once again, and we'll talk about each individual author, things that I like how they write, things I don't like how they write, and I will be starting that very soon. I'm not sure which author I will start with yet, so if you have an author that you would like me to start with, let me know, because I will start with them. And if it's not, then I'm just going to kind of pick one on a day that I feel like recording. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. So thanks for watching. Bye!